On today's show,
our angry Uncle Bob stops by with his piping hot NBA takes.
In a Thanksgiving edition of Crossfire, we debate the NBA's best side dish and biggest turkey.
And who wants stuffing? We're going to run down the top 10 blocks of the season so far.
It's Wednesday, November 25th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to the starters. Whether you're joining us live on NBA TV or watching us a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
You're like family to us.
To his right, it's the international man of mystery, Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Lily. And last, certainly not least, filling in for Trey Kirby, who's actually off for the holidays, it's our angry Uncle Bob.
Hi.
Bob.
Bobby.
Thanks for filling in. Appreciate it. Now, at this point, when Trey's usually there, we tend to go to him for a funny video or photo, something happening in the NBA world. He shares it with us. Do you have anything?
I don't do the internet, but have my boys print out this picture for me.
What?
Ben Matlock. Best show on TV.
All right, excellent. All right, so why Uncle Bob is here is because he's here for Thanksgiving tomorrow. He got in a day early, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Couldn't leave him at home. He'd burned the place down, so we had him come in here. He somehow talked our producer into coming on the show because you convinced him that you have some hot NBA opinions, strong NBA opinions. So
Yeah, I've been watching.
you've been watching ball.
Yeah, I saw the Warriors are doing good, but let me tell you something. They'll never get to 72 wins. They don't have MJ's heart.
That's your first hot take.
Warriors never getting to 72 wins.
Okay, well, this is
No
interesting.
heart.
They set the NBA record last night against the Lakers on Tuesday night. They go to 16-0. It's history. It's theirs. Sorry to the Rockets of 93-94. Sorry to the Washington Capitals of 48-49.
Sorry to MJ's Bulls, Bob. MJ never did this.
So they've got the 16 consecutive wins. They're, of course, trying to maybe chase the all-time record 72-10. Do you agree with Angry Uncle Bob? Is this something that's sort of ridiculous in a way?
You can't just shoot it down, Bob. I'll give you a couple reasons why. First of all, they are kicking butt. They're winning by more than 15 points a game.
Yeah.
No team has ever done that in history. But 72 is a very long ways away. There are going to be some bad nights, but what the Warriors have going for them on those bad nights, they can come back in a hurry. If they're down 12, 14, 15 when they're having a bad night like they did. Yeah, exactly. They came back against the Nets. They came back against the Clippers. It happened. And another reason, they have a lineup no one can figure out at this point. And although we all know that the small ball lineup is killing teams, it still sort of surprises teams because they don't run it out to start games. They run it out in the last few minutes. You still have to play other teams. You still have to scout this team. So it is a bit of a surprise to me. They maintain that health. And my last point here, Bob, I think they get another little midseason motivation bump when Steve Kerr comes back.
Okay.
That's a nice little bonus for them.
The good thing about them is the ball never
Bob's
sticks.
just eating.
Yeah, is he even paying attention? I don't
No.
know. Well, what do you think? Is it okay? Look, because it's not just crazy Uncle Bob or angry Uncle Bob, whatever we're calling him.
He's both.
We've heard Reggie Miller say
Yeah.
this on the broadcast. Say, look, let's stop talking about them chasing the 72-10 Bulls. There, we've heard Kenny Smith last night between the games say, come on, it's too far fetched. Great start, but too far fetched.
Sure.
People to some extent say it's like disrespectful to even think that this team is in the sort of same stratosphere as the Bulls. What do you say to that?
Well, I think so far what they've shown to us is they absolutely should be at least compared to these teams because they do it at both ends of the floor, and that's really what stands out. Defensively, they're fantastic, and offensively, they share the ball so well. The ball never sticks. They lead the league in assists. 70% of their field goals come via an assist.
Cool stat.
And they also lead fast break points as well. So once you either miss a shot or you turn the ball over, they get out in transition and run, and then they've got so many different weapons who can really spread the floor. You can go to the corners, you can give it to Iggy or Harrison Barnes or Steph, obviously, and Clay, and then you've got Draymond who can run down. Festus Ezeli's great at filling the lane as well. They can do everything at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, whether or not they actually do this, and it's going to get interesting when we get into March and April, if the record is in play, and whether or not they really go for it or they try and rest guys because they're going into the playoffs. It'll be interesting come then, but you can't write them off because this isn't some team that was, 45-win team last year. Like they were good and suddenly whoa, they're on a hot streak.
Yeah.
They won the title and they won 67 games, and you already said it, Tass, they're absolutely punking teams.
Exactly.
All of that added up And also, they're not really overexerting themselves
No.
by any means. A lot of the times, they're not even playing their starters in the fourth quarter because they're killing teams. It's like they're not doing anything all that crazy. So I think, in a weird way, it is in play.
I think the Warriors definitely want to get their bench going, which doesn't bode well for 72 wins. They definitely want to have their bench rolling.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11 deep going into the playoffs. So that doesn't
Their
bode
bench
well
is
to win.
that good, too.
it
So
is-
it can
it is
win them
quite
games as
good.
well. All right, let's go back to
Fine.
Angry Uncle Bob. I don't know if we've
Let's
convinced
just
him.
give the Warriors the trophy then. Nobody's beating them anyways, so you say.
Give the Warriors the trophy.
Yeah, it's
You're all-
over.
You're all over the place, Bobby.
Well, I think that's a little ridiculous for a couple reasons. And
Is it?
look, we just talked about how great the Warriors are, but there are a couple things going against them, right? Injuries could happen. They got lucky last year, didn't have really any major injuries.
Ooh, luck,
but
the luck word comes
It's-
out again.
No,
Let me tell you,
Oh.
the legs are the first to go.
it's an ugly word, but no one wants to throw it out there. Injuries, look, they happen to most teams, and it could happen. It could completely derail their season. The other thing is they have had a pretty cushy schedule to start this. Not a lot of road games, playing in the Roracle a lot. They've only played 2 teams entering Tuesday that were actually even over 500 in the Bulls and the Raptors. They just played a lot of bad teams for the most part, and taking care of business. So the schedule is going to get a little more difficult. And oh yeah, here's the other reason not to hand them the trophy. There are other good teams in this league. 3 or 4 solid teams, be it the Spurs, the Cavs, or a team like the Thunder even.
Yeah, let's start with those times. You said health. The Thunder are healthy again.
Right.
And the last time they were healthy, fully healthy, they went to the NBA Finals. The last time they were fully healthy in the postseason was 2012. That's how long it's been. And they went all the way to the finals, obviously beating every other team in the Western Conference for 3 series. And Bob, just like when you watched basketball, because it's obvious you haven't watched basketball in a long time,
How dare you?
the Chicago Bulls had 2 very good players who led their team, and when you have 2 great players like this, they find a way to win. And it's just odd that Kevin Durant, in his 8th season now, wouldn't find a way to win a championship, or at least get there. It's his 9th
They're
season.
gonna put up a fight.
Yeah, he's gone through 8. This is his 9th season. They will be there.
The team that's sleeping at the moment is the San Antonio
Yeah.
Spurs. I mean, this is perfect for Greg Popovich because we know that he loves a challenge like this, and we know that he's probably got the team deep enough, maybe the only team deep enough to fully challenge the Warriors. And it starts with Kawhi Leonard, Defensive Player of the Year last year. He might be the best matchup for Steph Curry. He's got the length. We know he's a fantastic defender. He's athletic. And again, it's just that Spurs rising to the challenge of this team. We've seen this before where other teams come along, like the Thunder over the last few years, and they beat the Spurs, and then the Spurs came back immediately and beat them. And you just know Greg Popovich, we know he's the master of the in-game adjustment. So if something's not working, he will find a way to try to get into the heads anyway of those guys like Klay Thompson, like Draymond Green, and like Andre Iguodala as
But
well.
an amazing start by the Warriors. Everyone sort of hopes, I think, especially casual fans, that they make a run at the 72-10 record. But yeah, you're not going to hand this to them now because there are other good teams, and the Cavs included. All right. I mean, I don't know if we've helped debunk any of these sort of hot takes.
Nope.
Is there anything else?
Well, I've been noticing a lot of jerseys. In my day, you had home, you had away, and that's it. Now there's sleeves, now there's all kinds of jerseys. Everything gets a jersey. What's the point?
You're not wearing sleeves today, Uncle Bob.
That's how it should be.
Never wears a T-shirt. Never wears a T-shirt. I actually agree with that Angry Uncle Bob on this. First off, the sleeve jerseys.
You've always been my favorite.
Yeah. Like LeBron hates them. He's ripping them off. There's just too many jerseys.
Yeah, there are too many. The sleeves, they've grown on me a little bit. I don't mind them too much. I think, apart from LeBron, other players are okay with them. So,
All right, well, if we're talking uniforms, then what's up with all the tight pants?
What?
Tight pants.
You know, the tight pants. I don't know. These guys are wearing pants
The
now.
leggings. He's talking about the leggings.
now he's got a point.
You don't like these?
Yeah, you don't need these when you're in a game in an indoor arena. If you're playing in the freezing cold outside, like in football or something like that, fine.
That's a real man sport.
Yeah,
Easy, Bob.
I tell you, indoors though, not feeling it.
I can't disagree with Bob.
You've
on
got
this.
some great. These are great opinions now, Bob.
And well, keep it going then. I noticed a ton of threes. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned post play?
Well, it's okay. I'm glad you
Backing
brought.
your butt up, throwing those elbows around.
So you think the game is too many three-pointers?
Yeah, get down low and bang them home.
Well, the game has
Interesting.
changed a little bit, Bob, since your day.
There are
What are
some
you trying
good.
to say?
Well, the three.
There are good players out there.
3 is worth more than 2, and teams tend to go for them.
That's changed since your day.
Yeah.
3 used to be the same as 2, but now it's worth 1 more. But we do have some good post players. It's just not focused on as much as it used to be. Because guys are just getting better at the 3-point game. That's the way it is, Bobby.
Anything else?
Fine. Last thing I'll say, if I see another man bun, I'm cutting it off myself.
You're one to
Swear
speak.
to God.
What do you got going on there?
I've had the same haircut since 1974.
Man buns, Lee?
Yeah, well,
We got a lot of
you
them.
know, they're
Lou
they're
Amundsen,
unique.
Spencer Hawes. Well, they're not unique anymore. Oh, look at this.
Kirby used
Who's
to have
this
one.
jabroni?
Everyone's got a man
I'd like
bun.
to trial one for a while.
All right, look, we want to hear from you guys. Jump on Twitter, #TheStarters. What NBA-related complaint will inevitably one of your relatives make this Thanksgiving? Because you know you're going to hear some. Tweet at us, #TheStarters. We'll share a few of our favorites later. Coming up next, Tass and I go head-to-head in a special Thanksgiving Day edition of Crossfire.
Don't be afraid to record those conversations at Thanksgiving. Send them in. Welcome to Crossfire. This is how it works. Trey or Bob will give us our 3 topics. Skeets and me will debate each one, and you at home will declare the winner. Bob, tell them how it's done, please.
Yeah, if you're on Twitter or whatever it's called, you think this loser's winning, you vote #Tass wins. You think this loser's winning, you vote #Skeets wins. They tally it up with technology or whatever, I don't know. We'll declare a winner at the end. First round. A lot of clowns in the league this year. But who's been the best turkey?
The best,
biggest turkey.
Best and biggest turkey. Earmuffs to Joe Borgia. I think it's the referees blatantly missing traveling violations. I don't know what's going on. You're allowed to take 7 steps apparently now. I've seen it a couple times with DJ Augustine, Kemba Walker. This one doesn't bother me as much.
This is the hardest job in the world,
But
Skeets.
Mello the other night. What's going on? Why aren't we calling these as travels?
Have you ever tried to referee? It's
I
quite
have.
difficult. The biggest turkey
Stop.
in the league, they call the man Marcelo Huertas. If you get burned like this twice in the first month of your NBA career, you have to be the biggest turkey. You can get burned like this maybe once in your 15-year career, that makes sense. But twice within the first month, Marcelo Huertas will probably never garner a nickname in this league, but you can call him Marcello because he gets played over and over.
Man.
I got that nickname from Uncle Bob in our pre-show rehearsals. Oh,
He doesn't know what that
I
is.
thought we.
No, he
this is
doesn't
how
know
you-
what that is. He doesn't know what that is.
All right. Round 2. You know I hate family gatherings. But who's been the worst guest this year? You know, a player on a new team who's not performing.
Okay.
It's got to be Lance Stevenson. And this kills me to say this because I thought he would make his way in Los Angeles. He'd find a way to do it. And it started off okay. He bet on himself this year. It started off all right. This is a contract year for you, Lance Stevenson. How do you get benched already 10 games into the season?
Bad.
He's not mentally focused. He's not into it. Just keep it simple. Get the ball in the perimeter. Either shoot it, drive it, pass it. Stop doing this.
I got to eat some humble pumpkin pie as well, because I'm going with Ty Lawson, and I thought he was going to be a great fit in Houston. It has not worked out well at all. Guy's in his prime, and he's putting up worse numbers than he was as a rookie. He's shooting 32% from the floor, 25% from 3. Lee, you won't like this. He can't even hit free throws for some reason now. I don't know if going to the bench would end up helping him, coming in as a bit of a spark plug. It hasn't worked. Him and Harden both out there at the same time. He can't shoot the ball. Gotta go Lawson. Final one.
All right, round 3. Your Aunt Carol can't make a turkey to save her life, but I love her sweet potatoes.
Yep.
Who's been the NBA's best side dish this year? You know, a great supporting player.
Oh, supporting player, Warriors, Draymond Green. Easily.
He's not a supporting
Yes,
player.
he is. Yes,
He's
he
an
is.
all-star.
No, he hasn't made the All-Star game yet. He should this year. He definitely will, I think. But look, I love Curry, both Indian food and Steph. But this guy, I feel comfortable saying, if Draymond Green isn't playing for the Warriors, they're not undefeated. They're not even close to 16-0. He's that important in the pick and roll with Steph, and of course what he gives them defensively. Draymond, green beans.
I think he is too good to call him a supporting
Come
player.
on.
He will garner some MVP votes. He'll be Defensive Player
Relax.
of the Year. Kevin Love is a better supporting.
Love?
Yes, he's a better
Oh, a
supporting.
multiple-time All-Star,
He is
okay.
providing support for LeBron James. LeBron might not have a great game every single night. Well, that's when Kevin Love steps up and can support him and be a leading scorer. That's
been
what a
good.
supporting player does. But he can't be one of the best players in the league. That's not allowed. It's not allowed.
What
it,
is
Uncle
your
Bob?
favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
It's obviously stuffing.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
All right, your winner tonight, Jay Skeets.
Yes!
Congratulations, Warriors.
You're supposed to raise my hand. Yeah.
All right.
There we go. Thank you.
Congrats to you.
Thanks for voting. All right, we got to take a break. Uncle Bob, you're great. When we come back, we're going to count down the top 10 blocks of the season so far. Yeah, Thanksgiving stuffing will be served. Come on back. Back with the starters. Earlier in the show, we asked you what NBA-related complaints would you hear from your relatives this Thanksgiving? You guys hit us up on Twitter, hashtag the starters. We somehow got Angry Uncle Bob a computer. I have no idea if he knows how to use it, but we might have a few of your best responses. Bob.
Jacoby Haskell says, what happened to the set shot?
Oh, yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Oracle Swerve says, all they do is shoot threes. You couldn't win championships back in my day like that.
The Warriors, yes.
216 Diehard says, the biggest topic at our table will be from my dad. I don't understand why they let these guys take 3 steps. Call the travel.
Yes,
Fair
you're
point,
right.
fair point.
216 diehard.
This guy says at every missed free throw, my father will say, why can't these professional athletes make a dang free throw?
I agree, Mr.
Pathetic. But you're a 1,000-year-old man. I don't want to hear it. My grandpa always tells me, why can't I be 7 feet and get paid to sit on a comfortable bed? You're telling me, Tristan.
All right, keep your inevitable relative NBA complaints coming in. Hashtag the stars. All right, seeing as it is Thanksgiving this week, we actually have no shows tomorrow or Friday, but we wanted to set the table early, hit you with some delicious stuffing as we count down our top 10 blocks of the season so far. At number 10, Andre Drummond denies Leonard.
Nearly wedges it,
He
too.
nearly gives us the wedgie there, but wow, the help defense in these top 10s is going to be nice.
We've had some great blocks this season. Thunder on the break. Alley-oop coming for Kyle Sickler. No!
Oh, the oop block is
Yeah.
Kenneth
a special thing.
Always hustling. Always making things
Volleyball
happen.
block.
It's the timing.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
At number 8, former dunk champ Jeremy Evans shows us he's got a little defense too. That's Anthony Davis with a nice spin move on Wesley Matthews, but Jeremy Evans getting back into the play, puts it in about the 10th or
Make a
11th
painting
row.
out of that one.
Yeah, maybe.
He's the new Brandon Wright. Jeremy Grant chasing down Kevin Martin. Look at this spike. Oh, my goodness.
It's a tomahawk block. Wow.
Did he grow up in a family of volleyball players? No, he didn't. That was a huge spike.
At number 6, rookie Rondé Hollis Jefferson says no to David Lee. Left-handed.
A lot of these balls are going to teammates on the bench, too.
You ever heard of a pump fake?
That's right, Angry Uncle Bob. We make a point. Nice play by RHJ.
All right, number 5, point guard on point guard action.
Oh.
Russell Westbrook chasing down Marcus Smart for the almost wedgie. An aggressive block from a point guard. You just wouldn't see too many
He's got
PGs
that.
do that.
Nearly
That's
wedge.
above the rim, too.
At number 4, we had to include Miami Heat big man Hassan Whiteside. He's leading the league in total blocks. Doesn't even play all that many minutes, and here he is denying Nerlens Noel.
Nerlens done a bit of that damage in himself in his time as well.
I believe Nerlens was number 1 on our list
Yes,
last
he
year
was.
on James Harden.
That's
Yeah.
right.
At number 3, Cavs down 2, seconds ticking down in the 4th. LeBron to tie. No! Didn't really look like LeBron, as he said after the game. I made myself small
Powell made himself big.
Yeah.
with the lefty.
Nice.
Pow, 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 as they say.
Sticking with sort of the game-saving blocks vibe here, Karl Anthony Towns against Tobias Harris. I mean, Harris in a tie game here is probably going to win the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
And here comes Big Cat, times it perfectly. That is not a goaltend. That is going up. And that thing would go to OT.
at number 1, Blake Griffin looking to embarrass yet another center, Festus Ezeli. No, the best block thus far in the NBA season. It really was.
Blake is climbing him.
Yeah, and watch Festus
Oh my-
Ezeli's shoulder
Yeah,
get,
how does he not pop his
get
shoulder out?
wrenched back there. A great, great block.
Festus for the best of us. All right, great stuff. We wanted to include this one other one, but we couldn't in the end do it. It's Steven Adams' block the other night against Rodney Hood.
Easiest block ever.
That's right. Look at this.
It looks like he's playing with his son.
Rodney Hood's just trying to get it up on the rim from the ground. Get out. Yeah, Billy Madison style.
Yeah.
Bill Murray. Yeah, get out of here. But, you know, we almost put it at number 10. People would've
Nonchalant,
got mad.
too.
That's pretty cool. He should have caught it, though.
Well, at least he put it to his own teammate. They were going the other way.
We also had a wedgie yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
They're all snowflakes, they're all unique, and this one coming from a legend, so I kind of feel bad in using this one here because it's Kobe, it's the Twilight.
How do you feel bad? Feel
Yeah,
good.
I mean, it's a good one, but it's in this 1 of 14 performance. It just doesn't feel
no,
right.
Tess, it's a
career is
legend.
complete.
It's a legendary wedgie. It's a
no.
Ledeji
That's why
or
he was
something.
playing this other season. He wanted to get recognition for a wedgie.
We've got 7 on
Got
the
it.
year, 43 to go until we hit that magical 50 number of wedgies. All right,
It's so magical.
one more break. When we come back, Lily's very solid play. Back with the starters. Here's a look at last night's pick and play results. Trey, before he left for the holidays, got a game wrong. 3 of us were right, taking the Grizzlies. A reminder, if you're new to the show, at the end of the month, the loser, whoever's in last place, it will be me. I technically can't even come back. We'll be doing something weird or embarrassing or gross on a show in early December. So we haven't decided exactly what I'll be doing yet, but I'm sure I'll hate it. All right, tonight's picks, just for fun here. Let's finish out the month. Lee, the only one taking the Grizzlies.
Yeah, let's do it, Grizz.
Everyone else taking the Rockets. Lee, where are we going for very solid play of the night?
We're going to Washington, but it's the Indiana Pacers who shot 19 for 26 from three-point range last night, including this beautiful one that ends with Chase Budinger for a 3. Look at the ball fizz around the perimeter. He steps up, knocks it down. That's beautiful. That's what I call a very solid play.
I didn't know someone besides Paul George or CJ Miles hit a 3 for the Pacers.
Everyone, you could have hit one last night for the Pacers.
Oh, I wish I could have. All right, we got some fan signs, Lee.
Yes, we do. The first one comes in from John Q. Madden out in Boston. Some nice stuff there. It says fizz the ball around. They even have their own pun. It's Jay Chowder. Pew pew. Pretty good job there, guys.
All right.
Next one comes in from Omer in Miami. They've got the goal on there too for the 50 wedgies. Great job, guys. We have another one.
Wow, look at
this one
this.
actually is really just for
That's a
Trey. The Hughes family out in Oakland. They really just love Trey. They've all got beards. Pity he's not here to see that one. Now, the next one is a bit of a strange one. It comes from Goods BMX. He's basically trying to poach someone else's sign and claim it as his own. So that doesn't count. But the good news is we actually did find the owners of this.
That's the sign.
That's the sign, yeah. It comes in from the Sablen family in Portland. Now, it's mum and both daughters also have a sign.
All right, good
They've shown
stuff.
us this season.
Guys, this morning we recorded the hour-long Drop podcast. It's up on iTunes, Google Play, our website, so go and check that out if you're getting tired of talking to your family over Thanksgiving.
All right, enjoy the holidays. Thanks for joining us. And remember, you cannot teach old Bobs new tricks.
Embrace the turkey, people!